what does fixed bass chord progressions mean? Well, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But when designing content for Scalar 2.7, I always find that, you know, several styles of music that we might try and imitate. Let's pull Coldplay for a, you know, good or bad example. Tend to have a style where the bass just stays on the one note and they move chords around. And I wanted us to have a kind of bunch of chord sets that mimic that, because, you know, our chords generally move around. So we've come up with this fixed bass chord progressions. And what happens is if I just hover over, can you see that the A gets highlighted there? And no matter where I go, the chords keep changing, but the bottom root note stays the same. So to really demonstrate that well, what I've done is I've created a contact patch, and I have added prime bass, which is a bass instrument, and I've added electric vintage. Now, what works nicely about these two guitar sounds is prime bass is monophonic, so it's just going to take the bottom note and just play it on the bass. Well, that's perfect. That's what I want it to do. And electric vintage is going to play the whole chord. Okay, so you can see the bass is staying the same. And that means that, you know, for example, I could change this, you know, electric vintage here. I could go road trip, you know. And they're all the same. Basically, the bass stays the same. Yeah.
Hey, David, I got a quick question about that.
Yes.
If I use that incredible force into scale feature when I'm using a fixed bass preset, will it keep that fixed bass, or will it change it?
Well, that's a good question, because in voice grouping, it'll change it, because voice grouping moves the voices around. So if we were to say force into a, well, what scale are we in? I don't want to push it too much. It says we're in C major. So let's force into the scale. Let's go a Mixolydian. I always say Mixolydian, by the way. I always have, but I'm going to force it there. I think it'll stay, Joshua. So here we go. Yes, it has stayed. That was a pretty good test there, because I went from a major into a Mixolydian. So yes, you can.